be formless and shapeless in your way of fighting, thus invincible, for fuck's sake, especially in darkness. Okay? A block of ice in broad daylight, or it can be water flowing in the darkness. If you want to be like that, then you've got to first be flowing, formless and shapeless in your mind. So it's not shaped towards, how do I deal with his system, or I've got to adapt my system now. I don't know his whole system though, because I haven't been training all those years obviously, but I can adapt my system. You just adapting there and playing to his situation, or what people are telling you on the street. No man, that's not what it's about. You might even know his whole system, you still won't be able to beat him. You might even know your system. Your system is not an opposite of his. Tai Chi is not an opposite of karate. You might have opposite kind of traits, where one might be hard and one might be soft, but they've all got hard and soft in them to different degrees and total different shapes. And it's just different expressions of a human being moving their body and mind in different ways. So what I'm trying to say is, you'd rather go in and just kill the guy in his sleep. It's not a battle. Is it a test of football versus basketball? Is it a game of basketball? Is it a game of two martial arts? Let's say, let's test our skills out. Is it a game of battle of words? Let's see. It's what do you call it? Conundrum. What do you call it on the TV? What do you call it? The fucking what do you call it, man? That one about the what do you call that? What's that one called? We have to guess the words, guess the letters. You know, what the first letters B? Is there a T in it? You know, hangman. Is it a game like that? You know, we have to guess and guessing and working with each other, trying to work each other out and play each other out. If it's some kind of rap battle, maybe. If it's some kind of competition, maybe. But it shouldn't be. It's not about competition. It's about winning. You know what I mean? What? You say to yourself. I'm not saying cheat and be unfair. I'm saying warfare is unkind. It's you know, but self-defense. You've got to be the warrior. If someone's going to kill you, you've got to have a way. You don't stand there and say, okay, I'm going to learn to defend myself, do you? As such, in that way. You know what I'm saying? You say, I'm going to use this fucking enemy, excuse my language, before he attacks me. I'm not going to let him attack me. Not, oh, he's going to punch. What am I going to do now? I'm going to block it. So like that, I'm going to block it. I'm going to block it. I'm going to strike him back. And you're planning it out, and then you end up getting knocked the fuck out. And then you say, well, you're not conditioned enough. You get knocked out because you haven't taken enough punches to the face or body. You start blaming that, listening to other people. Or you say, your arm isn't strong enough to block it. You really haven't done enough conditioning training. Your strikes aren't strong enough. And you start saying, well, I need to train my fighting combat much more. I'm going to come back next year. We're going to fight again in the ring, you know. Let's take it to the ring, man. You know, it becomes like something else. Not what it's about at all, you know. It's not what it's about at all. So it's like, if you want to, you know, win, be a winner. Don't deal with losers. And then you won't be a loser, you know what I mean? It's like, there's only one winner, one loser, you know. If you're dealing with who is the fighter, and you're not the fighter, are you? You're the good person, then you're going to lose. Two wrongs don't make a right. Two people going in to fight for what? So what you're saying is this guy's going to attack you then on the street, and you say, well, if I don't be a fighter, if I don't stand up, I'm going to get knocked the fuck out. So I must be the warrior, like he's being the warrior in such a way. No, you see, you're playing his game though. Let his punch slip. It's the same way he's going to punch in Wing Chun or Tai Chi. You let it block on the side, or he's pushing you, you absorb that energy in, and you go with your strike, you're flowing in and out. But you've got to do that not with his arms, you've got to also do it with his whole situation. He says, tomorrow, let's meet at sundown, and I'm going to shoot you dead. And you think, shit, you know, otherwise I'm going to kill your family, or whatever he might say. It's like a Western, you know, again, right? Then you say, right, and you're thinking about it all night, okay? So, okay, to win, you know, or not to lose, as Bruce Lee would say, you know, then you'd be going there, what Bruce Lee said you shouldn't be doing, you know, fighting not to lose, or you're concerned about the execution, whereas not really going in to win. And you're doing the wrong way, fitting into the way other people is set out. It's like playing to the rules, his rules, something that's fucking controlling you, a situation you don't even like anyway. And you want to win and get out of that shit. And if you can't avoid it, you've still got to go around, avoid it in some way, because there's always a way that you can fucking win and get that job done, believe it or not, if you open your mind and think out of the box. So anyway, the guy says to you he's going to kill your family or whatever, you know, you've got no choice, and if you and you're going to fight at sundown, it's going to be a gun battle, and you go there trying to prepare, you know, you're training all night to shoot, you know, this gun, how to win. You're wasting time, you're wasting energy, and you're only doing this thing to save your family. You know what, he might even kill you, then kill your family. He might even have killed them already. You don't even know what you're fighting for. You've been brainwashed. And not only have you been brainwashed by that, but you're also brainwashed by, what am I going to eat tonight? I've still got to have my dinner, haven't I? Am I going to have a curry, or am I going to have a pizza? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not joking, it's serious. And then your baby's crying in the other room or whatever, and you know, your back's hurting, how many hours sleep am I going to get? So I'm going to be pretty tired. And it comes so much, and you are going to be so, he's exhausting you mentally anyway, and physically. You might have done something else. You might walk there, you might not even have a gun, right? He might trick you, or he might have a gun, or whatever. He might say it's going to be a fair talk, but then he ends up getting, someone comes out and tries to shoot you from behind your back, or there's something you didn't see. Like you walk there, and then it's like 1, 2, and before you turn around and shoot, the ground falls open from below your feet. It's a trap. It's a trick. A trap. Hip hop, trip trap in the ship shop. Trip hop. No. It's a net or something full of sand, or some secret door opens and you fall into it. You might sound far-fetched. I'm talking about reality and language, tripping over your words, bro. I'm not everybody, right? Or when people say, I'm not. Maybe you think I'm being funky now in my words, messing around, but this is reality. And you've got to think about. There's always things you can't see, and your enemy's out to fucking get you, and you won't take anything. And if someone's seeing you as the real deal, if someone's seeing you as though, oh yeah, you're something to deal with, that means that they're paying attention with you. If someone thought they could easily deal with you, they wouldn't be bothering. If somebody thought you were nothing, or they were, saw you as nothing, they wouldn't even bother. But if someone thought, yeah, there's something in this, they would speak to you. They would give you attention in any way. So I'm saying, the enemy as such. And if he was afraid at all, then he would definitely try to cheat, or he'd definitely try to win another way. And the enemy's never going to let you see what they're going to do. So you have to be ready. You're dealing with the enemy. You can't play by rules or play with it. So what I'm trying to say, right, in this is train yourself not to get hit. What I'm trying to say, right, in all this. Train not to just to be hit and all that, because you might be training for that, and the guy just kills you. You're punching yourself in the face all night long, man, to take his deadly blow. He just pulls a gun out and blows off your dick, and you're going to be in really big pain when it's on the floor. Right? If you've got one. You know what I mean? But, so what it is, right, what are you doing? You've got to be like the ninja. So he's saying he's going to threaten them. You've got to find a way to rescue them. You've got to plan early. You've got a way to go unseen in the night, plan that rescue it before that time given. Kill him, before that. Don't wait, I'm just saying in the plans, I'm saying the actual terminology I'm saying of this. You see, you take out your enemy first. You take him out when he's least expecting it, his weakest time possible. You'd say, okay, look, I'll tell you what, I'll give you money if you let them go. I'll tell you where the gold is, or and you wait for that chance, find a way to get him, as it might be, he might follow you all the way there, or it might be, I'm not saying he's a fool like that, but you've got to find ways to trick and trap this up, and the way you trap up his arms and legs in like fighting, let's say, to get that strike, you've got to trap up his mind and cover all doors, blow up his house, whatever you say, put something, a trap in front of his doorway or something, change the locks or something, codes, things that, so you wouldn't be able to deal with that. So he's got no access to his weapons or his money or whatever, his phone line to his gang members or friends, compass, a map's been changed, signposts. It's all disguise again of yourself, the whole situation. Other people can help you out. You can work with that if you could. If you've got any teammates to help you, know what I'm saying, yeah? To play off like that, pretend you're another person when you're not even that person. What I'm saying, like that, or disguise as that, or use his own words against him. You know, you might even just say something to him and just kill him straight away at that moment there. He didn't really expect it. He's too busy this. As soon as he turns his back, it's as simple as that. Go and rescue your family in the night or whatever. But before you can do anything, you've got to find out the information. You can only read off what there is on this. So you know, work off the information. Mind over matter, that's what it is more so. And train your movement, train your martial arts to be more effective than taking blows to your body, which could do you internal injury, bust bones in your body, your kidney shot, whatever, your busted nose, eyeballs blind, brain damage, broken neck, whatever. It could end up being a death, literally, really. So you've got to train realistically in your training. Condition your body, do gradual hits on your body, let someone do that, maybe striking you or whatever over your body, take it and that, walk around, light taps, or just gradually working it in, even until it is quite maybe slightly harder. Working your breath. You don't want to relax your body like that, relax, and then somebody kick you straight in the gut. I know you're going to say, well, obviously, I'm just saying, you wouldn't, would you? I'm just saying. You have to still tense your body somewhat. You know, so it's that, as soon as you start tensing your mind, you can't go in the flow of anything. If you're in the flow though, and you're able to block him off with the power of your own and strong in your own fist, knock him right a spark, and you can do it, you know what I mean? Chuck him down, work it out. So what are the techniques of the flow? You know what I mean? You never go force against force in like Tai Chi or the internal like Kung Fu arts and that anyway, you know what I'm saying? But to deliver blows, a lot of martial artists and warriors say, oh, it's okay you learn to like deliver the blows, but a lot of martial artists are afraid to like take the blows, and that's their letdown. Like someone might be kicking a bag all day or punching really hard, but it's like they're not able to like take the blows to their body or face or whatever. To me, it's not really big and brave to be actually trying to take punches and kick to the. You see, you're a human organism. You're not really a piece of concrete, but you can train to be stronger. I'm not saying you can't, and that's why I still punch myself in the face gradually, not right in my nose on full speed. Over my body, punching my legs and my arms and striking on trees. I train hardcore in the winter, punching my fists in the concrete walls and trees. I see you watch my videos. But it's like, you don't really want to do it all about, roundhouse kick to your back. You might bust your spine. Rick, you know what it's about, you know, the health and things, right? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Practice your finger jab in the eyes? Someone blinds your fucking eyes, you're finished, man. You know what I mean? Broken nose. I don't care how many times someone's got their nose broke. Is that something to be proud of? I've had my nose broke. It's not a good feeling getting punched in the nose, even in kickboxing I used to do hardcore. Being walked over my stomach, yeah, I can tense, yeah, I can control my breathing at certain points. Some people are really good at that. But if you get someone just of a slight different angle of language or expression of anything in life, and that shoe goes on my rib cage here, because I'm not a fairly, you know what I mean, a big built person anyway, you know what I mean? You get my rib cracked, whatever. It might internal bleeding, it might end up serious, might end up later on down the line I get something serious developing I didn't even realise, or internal injury. I know operations for that shit. You might even be able to fight again. You might even be able to train again. Cracking fingers, all these deadly techniques we train, we've got to think about. When you're delivering the power, the strikes out, you've got to think about the actual damage on the end of that, and the moral side. You know what I mean? Giving it's only deliver as much force as what's needed in self-defence, really. You know what I mean? You don't end up killing somebody or smashing somebody up so bad. Think of what that would feel like for you. Densley, you was kicked in the nose right too when you were training in the fight in the mouth and that and the nose. I owe a lot to him. I mean, I give you a lot of credit, okay? Dems, well done for that, okay? Again. You know, for that fight you was in for, I mean, you really did a lot for that. I mean, you really took that blow there. And when someone's coming at you so fast, lashing, punching, kicking, jumping, you went down to cover yourself, wherever habit, and you got kicked and struck. It can be really hard. I practice on my Wing Chun and everything. You know, learn to that block in different ways. You've got your big blocking moves in my Kung Fu, you know, blocking that. But also you've got your small ones to save time and energy, cutting the line. But sometimes it's still hard, you know. Someone can just come hooking in, crack you over the head. If you were elbowed across the head, you know what I mean, punching the temple, or the jaw, you're so deadly, you know what I mean. And so move, and you can't always block in the right time and change back to the best position. You've got to move your footwork and everything in training. So it's real hardcore training. You can't expect to always block so perfectly, or like cover that well and move in and intercept at the same time. It's so complicated. Someone can move and react and change. You don't even know. So, and things like grabbing and things like that. Someone might even grab you, let's say, and they say by the neck. That's the best time when someone is grabbing you. That's the best time you can work and get them into locks in certain positions, as I've said, and things like that. Not busting somebody's bones, I wouldn't say, but but still controlling. Because if someone's going to punch or go to lash out, you wouldn't be able to grab their hands so, and their arms are so, or limbs so easily, right? When someone's grabbing on you, it's the best time to, like, you feel the momentum go with the flow, to like loop them up, lock them up, or feel the whole bodily balance when they connect with you. But sometimes even then, they could just let go. You know what I mean? Someone grabs you there, and it might even be not so fast. It might be like relatively slow enough, and you see it, and you think, oh great, I can do my lock now. And you go, as soon as you grab that, whether something else hits you from below, a kick, or whatever, a strike to the other hand, somebody else. Or as soon as you go to grab that, they change the position. They grab your throat. As soon as you go to grab the hand, from here, it just goes, they pull it out and then go straight up again and claw your eyes or poke your eyes. That's it. You're blinded. You're fucked, okay? Excuse my language. So it's like, don't be trying to catch for things, or don't be trying to stand and take blows, or don't be trying to go for it so committed to that strike, whatever it is. Just see what's coming, move naturally, practice some free flow sparring and moving around, I'd say, you know what I mean? Giving the strikes, making sure your blocks are good enough cover on the close, and if you're doing bigger movements, make sure that you're able to flow between big and small naturally, move around with the footwork, things such as like parrying off, parry blocks, and things like with the elbows and stuff where you're covering up the boxing, but if he does punch you, crush his fist on your elbow or whatever, you know what I mean, things like that. So dangerous things, and going straight in for them when you go in, don't put your head down, it's going to get hit, or open your guard, guard too low, whatever, or too high. Things protecting your sides here again, that's why you practice all that, protecting your guard. You don't want to get punched in the kidney, ribs, or guts, you've got a guard there. Otherwise, you just walk there straight. If you're saying that, you're like Iron Man, you're going to have like a force field around you, electric force, and walking like magic, nothing can touch me, just throw it away. No, you've got to have some level of tactic about it. If you're in combat, I'm saying, or work your strikes in really well and fighting in. But I'm saying, conditioning's done on all levels, but don't go too extreme. I'm saying, really practice to hit yourself as though that is what it comes down to ultimately. Because ultimately, if you're in the crappiest situation in the first place, that's the wrong place you should be in anyway. Focus on, more so I'd say, focus on all of it, but focus on being invisible, using your language, your words, and getting things done without having to deal with enemies. Avoid them all. Don't walk down that path. Walk down a secret back alley that you made yourself, if you like. If there's no one available, make one. And you open the door, make your own door, and find your way around, plan, be more like a ninja, work things out. And if it's not worth it, don't even bother. Just get on with what you're doing in your daily life and enjoy your life. Don't think about others. Don't do it to prove to anybody anything else or to beat anywhere either. Because even if it's got honour and respect and whatever, you've got to think of it one way. They've still got you in their grasp, the enemy. If you're doing that, putting yourself through so much, you know what I mean, just to prove something to somebody else anyway, that's no good. Even to yourself, when you think, you've lost your mindset because you think that you have to prove yourself, you have to prove yourself to them, to yourself. You've got to beat them in that way or stand up, because that's the only way there is. I've made the mistakes too myself in my life, and you know what, tell you a lot, I really have little mistakes, but it's too many, and I feel like it's something there's really no need. You do more harm to yourself that way, physically and emotionally and physically. Really, what you really need to be doing is focusing on what needs to be done in your life at that time. There's so many wonderful more things and important things you could do than getting into a fight with somebody in the first place and having to, deal with these nasty enemies, in the first place. Let them be sucked into their own black hole. Let them, excuse my language, let them fuck themselves off, okay? Wasting their energy. Don't be there. Let all of these attacks mean nothing. And you just get them that way. If there's point to it, then you have to deal with the situation some way, do it unseen, and that's what I was saying that way. Okay, any problem. But be wise about it, but don't like I wouldn't say deal with a problem face on as such if you don't need to. Using your martial art techniques, and that's the second one. You know, you don't need to get into fights if you don't need to. So if you have to pretend to be cowardly or timid or afraid, and you're afraid of your pride, humbly, you know, or you're doing something a way that other people wouldn't do. I'm speaking from experience, years of experience here. Pretending to be think a certain way, or pretending to be something, you know, not to pretending to be kind of weak or soft, you know, and weak in some way, then you might soften the person down. They won't want to fight you. You might say, well, how can I do that? I'd rather stand up and say, no, I'm a fucking man. I'll put him on the floor and crack his everything. But it's like, even if you could do that, you know, and a whole group of them, if there's a group, but even if you could do that, at the end of the day, you might not be doing any good for yourself in the long run at all. But if they're coming to attack you, by all means, self-defense, then you can let the tiger rip out. You know, then you can go out and bust if you need to. But it's like, in accordance with the law, this is the hardest thing. You be careful not to kill them, be careful not to injure them so badly, whatever. But I say you've got to defend yourself, but if you can't run, you know what I mean? I'm being careful, but you see what I'm saying? So train yourself to be the martial warrior. Really, really train. But Zen, spiritual week, meditation, body, peace of mind, as my nan said. If you ain't got peace of mind, you've got nothing. Practice your mind, practice to do something you like, focus on your training as such. That's the most important thing in martial arts anyway. Imagine if you got crippled or busted the fuck up in a fight. Trying to use your martial arts too, but even if you won and you were like kind of injured, and imagine if that hindered your training for the rest of your life, either seriously or just slightly, but you just messed up yourself and your body and your mind and vice versa. It might even have such an effect on you that you say, well, you know, you might steer clear of the path of martial arts, which is wrong. The martial arts is about self-help, but it's not that you can't use it. You've got to use it rightly, but you won't be able to use it rightly if you don't train rightly. So it's all fits together. The puzzle pieces, the logic, you know, and life itself. So it's like you'd rather focus on your good training, and then whatever needs to be done in real life, you know, it will fall into place hopefully. But you don't want to go very slow. Go with the flow, but don't go with somebody else's flow and just let them flush you down the toilet. No, you go around that. They're the rock and you're the water. Remember that, okay? You go around that. That rock's not going to get in your way. You'll seep around it somewhere or another, you know what I mean? You'll wear the bitch down. It's just too stubborn in its ways. Warm water. You're not so hot and angry and you become like a gas. You know, evaporate. You're not a frozen water where you're like a block of ice which will easily crack or be cracked, you know. And there's like ice, you can see it in nature, you'll see like icebergs and stuff being cracked away by the raw water even sometimes. Or sometimes it won't even bother, the water won't even bother, it leaves it alone, you know, because it is what it is, it's no but these enemies, these stubborn assholes, excuse my language, nasty people out there who would be so rude to you and mean, who don't want to go around destroying other people's lives and harming people out there, horrible people, are those people worth your time and energy? Not at all. Are they even worth the gratitude of you, you know, I mean, are they even worth you wasting your iron Qigongness to stand and say, I can take the punch, yeah, I can take your punch, as though your punch is something so amazing, and I can take, even if they are very strong, and that punch could knock you out, even if it's just a very light slap, and they're very strong, then what? That's the same as you comparing your little thin build like mine to somebody who's really strong and can lift things up high. And I start saying, well, look at my Tai Chi and my Qigong and my technique. You can't lift me even though you're so strong. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not as strong as him, but I use my Tai Chi and I can just stand in for some way. I think anyone can lift me. I'm just saying, I'll train my way, but you know what I mean? There's no point. You're not doing Tai Chi that way. You're not going with the flow of nature. You know, so you'd rather make it so that his lift is worth nothing, even you don't even need to be there for him. You just totally ignore him. Somebody who likes to argue with you, and you try to argue with them back, the argument will never finish. You just keep going on because you're feeding him what he wants. He wants to get you wound up. So fuck him, you know what I mean? Let him wind himself up when he's got nobody there. He's punching thin air all day, or he's punching the veil all day, he's punching the wall. You know, you punch. It's like Professor Watts said, you keep breaking things until one day you bust up your own hand, probably. You know what I mean? You've got to be careful. You're not doing yourself any good in the long run. In the long run. How many ninja, you know, there were ninjas and ninja groups in the past that did so many effective, carried out so many effective missions and tasks in the shadows of night, unseen and unknown of, unknown, or even if they're known of, they were unknown. And they carried so much out, and in the long run, they'd done a damn lot. Whereas if they would have done that in broad daylight or gone out to fight, they might have accomplished so less. So we've got to learn and do right in life. We're not going to go out and be like assassin ninjas and kill. But I'm not trying to say that. But it's like you be realistic. In terms of being a fighter and a warrior, by all means you've got to train to be strong. You've got to be trained and train the fighting abilities too. And train them and spar with people if you can too, and get it on, you know, get it training hardcore. But don't be like with all this ego in you, and don't be the same with your body. Don't train your body to have ego. Like, I'm superior. I don't give a fuck. You know, I can take a missile to my arsehole. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I'll say, yeah. I can take people chucking empty missile shells at my body all day. Dropping frozen concrete, you know, I don't know, dropping whatever on my body all day. I can smash microwaves over my head, you know. What are you trying to prove at the end of the day? You're not cooking any meals in that microwave, you're not doing anything, you're not using the microwave what it's used for, you're not even using your fucking head what it's for. So your head's not there to be punched, your head's there to think how to not be punched, you know what I mean? Your body's not there to be punched, you know what I mean? Your body's there to digest all the food you've been eating, go through your body and the system so that you can be living with all your organs to keep you alive, so you pass the shit through your asshole and shit it out. Because your asshole's not meant for other stuff too, believe it or not, it's only meant for shitting. I've got to say it. See people putting shit out of their mouth, they're confused with the yin-yang concept. I'm just saying my perspective, and I've got to say that. Right, of what the human body and science is about. So, you can do whatever you want with your body and your mind, but I'm just trying, you know, hang gliding, whatever, and, you know, things that humans were born to do, right? Yeah, shit, man. You can put crap out of your mouth every day, but it's like, ultimately, you know, you've got to follow the way things are, you know, and that's what it is. But so are we meant to ram our fists and punch things? No. Are we meant to stand there and be weak and die to, disease and, or attackers? No, we're not, are we? We're not really meant to die. If not, we wouldn't have a life. That's the proof that we're meant to live, that we're living now. And your heart's beating and it's all flowing the blood around your body, even though you wouldn't be here. So we are meant to be alive, and we are trained, and as we grow older, we are our muscles are there for reasons, and the tendons and that, to learn to be stronger and develop, and we do grow stronger naturally anyway as we're growing older. It's not a lesson, it's not a written out rule by some motherfucker, whatever, or anybody. Then again, if there is a God or anything higher belief and such, then it could have been planned. You just don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that we're developed in that way, and we are designed, and we are scientifically, as we develop, as we grow older, we do become stronger in our bodies. So training flexibility and physical training, it's been proven over the years, and martial arts, you know. Anyway, all of it. So you can maintain and develop a very strong body and mind. And take a lot of punishment too. The body can be known for that, but it's like not for that, you know what I mean? If you take so much punishment, if you're hit with so many physical, mental and all kinds of hits all throughout your life, you've taken so much punishment, more punishment than necessary, let's put it that way. It's like an old car. It's the same thing, a car, you know, anything, you know, the same thing, right? And diseases. One of these days you're going to conquer, you might not live to an old age. So be wise, mate. I've seen these boxers who are speaking like they're, you know, been hit so many times in the head and that they're speaking so slowly and that, you know what I mean? And so you want to make sure you take care of your body and train to not get hit and train to fight and develop and deal with situations before they happen and when they're happening to work with this technique. All theory, you say. All theory until it's put into practice, okay? All theory is put into practice. I put my own stuff into practice every day. I'm always studying what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and trying to, what other people are doing too, and trying to find the best way and improve upon my methods. That's why I'm speaking to a camera like this for so long. I'm not just wasting my stupid time with that. I'm talking to all my martial bros, hi bros, okay, everybody, and anybody who's watching, okay? And if you're out there and a martial artist and you think, you know, you can put theory or any of your theories into good practice, good luck with you. Help yourself. Don't beat yourself up over some arsehole or beat yourself up with his fists. You know what I mean? Or let him, no man. You know, or anybody's words. Don't let that affect your mind. Don't try and always stand up and see it. There's no point. I can take what you throw at me. Proving to yourself again, are you? Getting kind of tired of doing that every day, aren't you? Let it pass, man. You know why? Because you don't even need to do any work. You don't even need to do any work to let someone slating you, someone's words and meaning. You don't even need to work in terms of what kind of work am I talking about? I'm talking about nothing. When you do the nothing, you know when somebody's rude to you and you say, well, you know what? I'm not going to go against it. I don't care. I'm going to let his words go past me. I'm just going to let them ignore you. No, because you're still fighting. You're still worried about it. You're still fighting. It's not something. You've got to understand that's got nothing to do with you. That's someone's doing their life. You are great. You are great. Just walk. When there's cars, fair enough. You cross the street. You want to get to the other side. You've got to wait for the cars to stop. You've got to walk. Excuse me, farting here. You've got to find a way to walk, you know, around the dangers and observe what's going on in the movie so you don't get hit. You know. But it's like you walk around. You go your way in life. They say you've got to adapt yourself in the world to get things done. You can't change the world, but you can change yourself to change or get things done. Your perspective, you know. If you want to win, you sometimes got to adapt yourself to the situation. Fuck that. You ain't got to. Excuse my language. You ain't got to adapt yourself to the world. You got to adapt yourself. Not for that. You do it for yourself. You change your method. That's what you're doing of control. But if you're still thinking you might for that or whatever, then you're still connected to that problem. You change your method in a way. You alter yourself so that you're winning. You don't say, oh, I'm not winning here. Oh, okay, I'll change my method to suit his. Then I'll overcome the problem. Because you don't even like that. If you could just walk next door and walk into another job and they're telling you they want you because you've looked into this matter yourself. You're not just waiting around. Then you can just walk the fuck in there and this guy can piss off. Excuse my language, I'm just saying it. I've got to express it out in myself. It's what I'm saying. You need to take the blows, deal with it. He grabs you, lock that, bam, chuck him back, and you're walking around the ring now. It's a boxing ring. He's looking around and you're looking at him. Okay, when he comes back, no man, there's no money in this fight apparently. Is there? Or there's more money in that. There's more. It'd be more better than brain damage. And you already got half your face hanging off your ass, and you're standing there, man. You know what I mean? Your family's, you know, or whatever else is more important, love or whatever. But you're standing there, and it's like you can just climb through the ropes. You don't need to go another round. You've done your bit. You know what I mean? But it's not like you even needed to do that first round. You need to step in the ring even to prove I've done my bit. I've been in the war. I've been in many fights. I've fought for more, what I believed, and that makes me a man. And they say, what, you haven't, man, you haven't. How does that make you a hero? I don't care if you have or you haven't, or whatever someone's asking you to prove, they can piss off. Because no, you don't need to do anything to prove to anyone. You need to prove, if you feel you need to prove yourself, prove anything to yourself. Without punching, are you punching yourself at the same time? Is that really what you believe, or is that because the society is making you? That's what you need to think of. The people around you, and that, you know, what you believe is as a real man. That's humans in the world thinking what they want to think. You know, that ain't what it's about at all. So you need to think to yourself what you want. You don't want to stand there and prove to this bastard here that you're right, do you? In the end, you're just going to say, okay. Wouldn't you rather just know that what that guy said, from your opinion at least, it's not, you don't like it, but it's not affecting you, and you know what you believe, and just get on with your job, with your life tasks, rather than standing arguing and slowing you down, when you could get home 10 minutes early and start cooking the potatoes for you and your family. But no, 15 minutes pass and you're there talking to this fucking arsehole, and you go there. But then again, if it's worth it, if you're maybe like talking to your boss or talking to somebody about your money, your wages for your job, let's say, let's get for example, a situation, or like bargaining, to get more higher wage, maybe be useful. But if it's not useful, I'm saying, if it's just, this asshole is not even going to listen to you, he's talking to you crap, just leave it at that. Okay, and you're taking blows, are you? Or, okay, I can take the blow. It's no difference from I can take the blow, or I can take the blow, okay, just punch me then, I'll take it. Even if you're physically not strong enough, you just mentally, you just give up, it's just punch me then, okay, I'll take it, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, before I would cry, but I'll take it now, I'm a piece of shit. Or it's like, I'm strong, I can take your punch, give me a punch. That ain't no good. First of all, block that, knock him fucking out, and then still self-defense, you know what I mean? Or it's like, he's going to attack you, you dodge that, move in, take it down the floor, foot on the throat, but don't kill him, you know what I mean? Just shut his chin language out, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, run away, you know what I'm saying? Or just totally ignore him, don't give him a reason to. Or throw itching powder on his bed, so that when he wakes up he's totally itching all over, and by the time of the fight he's still scratching like a monkey, and it's not time for he's not, and you can just walk over, flick his nose like a wanker, excuse my language. The train arms, stay safe, okay? Nothing can hurt you. My teacher said, one of my great martial arts masters, a Kung Fu master, 5 of them Kung Fu, a great man before, he once said, he said to us, learn to block, believe in your techniques and be strong in your training, focus yourself and all that. It must be, that's what I'm saying, all that. But it's like, he said, if it doesn't touch you, it can't hurt you. So remember that, physically and mentally, all of that, emotionally, all of it, okay? Be in control of yourself. Don't be there. Learn to act in your words. Learn to think ahead so that you can play games and read off the situation, read off the mind and what they're saying. Be there before the opponent is. Be there. The winner is there at the end of the finish line before that guy gets there, right? You know what I mean? You're not running alongside a fast runner and saying, come on man, trying to talk to him and argue with him, are you? Or trying to slow him down in many ways, like Roadrunner and all this, you know what I mean, and Coyote. No man, the winner's already there. So there's, you know what I mean, it's like the race should start, without any rules. It should be, it's like before the gunfire, you just run. You know what I mean? Or some trick is done so that you've put something there, in his shoe to trick him out. I'm not saying you say it's cheating, but I'm just trying to say you want to win. You want to win in a fair competition, and you want to test your skills out, test your mind against mind. In a game of chess, or it could be a sports fighting, taekwondo fight, whatever it might be. Swimming, running. Fair enough. Or some other kind of maths or whatever competition it might be. Fair enough. A card game. Fair enough. Whatever it might, bike race. Fair enough. If it's a test of those skills. But if you're talking about all out, you've got to win, and it's war. That's why there's a lot of cheating in sports and things, and there's money and business and all that. You see, and the greed and all the rest of it anyway in the world, which is another thing. But if you're talking about your life's on the line, your family's on the line, you've got to be careful. Don't be foolish and break the law and all the rest of it. And the law and all that and everything. Harm yourself and in the foolish way. Don't go blindly. You don't run straight into a punch, do you? Anyway, it's the same thing, right? These same people who train to take blows to their body, they still try and avoid getting hit. Funny enough, you know what I mean? It's like you wouldn't want to, you know what I mean? You wouldn't go blindly, I'm saying, would you? You wouldn't let the opponent see what you're going to do. You wouldn't run in and let whatever's going to be. You wouldn't say you trick someone like in a sport. Let's say a boxer might cheat or whatever, or whatever, or taking drugs, steroid, or putting something in the other guy's water or in his training gear, and then he gets found out. And he's not planned out well enough or whatever. See, that's other like Ninja Gear, hasn't trained well enough. It hasn't been planned out well enough, or and his plans haven't been thought about enough, and then what happens is he ends up also, because of his his plans being planned unwell, and also because of this whole thing not being thought out well, he ends up going behind bars or losing the money and whatever, you know, having to pay loads of money or whatever. He loses, he can't play the sport ever again. He's been banned, things like that. So that's all fucked. So there's playing the game, and then there's playing, and then there's winning. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So if you want to win in that game, you have to play that game the way it's got to be played. That's what it is, right? You want to play that game. You want to do something, it's got to be done that way. It doesn't mean you can't do it your own way. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, for your life, you've got to use your life methods and go unseen. So if you're cheating, you've got to go unseen. It's the same thing, right? But it's like, if you want to do things right, it's the right way about doing it. You don't want to end up breaking the law and getting in such bad trouble and losing everything. You want to win the war, you don't want to win the fight. You don't want to get hit, right? You don't take the big hit. You don't want to say, you know, you block the light punch and then, you know what I mean? And then, so that the hard knockout strike hits you. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I mean, yeah? You want to make sure that you go in and do the business, get it done. You know what I mean, yeah? If you're going to win, you've got to think about the whole thing. Or the winning, what it is, and the goal ahead. You don't say, I want to earn loads of money. Why do I want the money? No. Yeah. Or I want to, you know, or why you want to get married or make a family, have children. You don't even know why. What it means to you, you know, or why, what the motive is. I want to be the winner. I want to be number one. What does that mean? Some people become famous, become number one. They don't even know, they can't take it, you know, this and that, you know. It's the same as some mentally ill kid banging his head against a wall, isn't there? No difference. Don't even know why. You know what I mean? Or somebody constantly crying all the time. I don't know why. I have so much stress in my life. You've got to think about things. I've told you before, if you've got stress in your life, if you feel unhappy, we all have, if you're really upset and you feel down, that means you know there's better in the world. If you're emotionally very sad and unhappy, that means you know there is better for you in this life, because you are more aware than some other people are. You don't need to argue with them, you don't need to worry about it anymore. Just do better yourself. You feel you're a failure, do good at what you want to do good at. It don't mean do good as in look up to other people and try to do their level. Do better. Do better. Don't overdo it, but gradually just do what you enjoy. Gradually do it every day. Just stretching when we be more flexible, whenever you want to learn an art, just study a bit every day. Not because you want, I want to learn English, I want to learn Japanese, I want to learn, you know, football and be the best footballer. And that's not what it's about. You've got to learn that. If you want to learn a language, you've got to read the sentences every day and practice it. I'm an English teacher, as I say, as well as a martial arts teacher. You know, if you want to be good at kicking and gymnastics or martial arts, like I'm martial arts as a kung fu, you stretch every day and you feel good about it. You don't, when you're training, you don't go, oh God, I don't want to do this, I hate this. It's very tiring sometimes. You can feel exhausted, or you feel like you can be lazy sometimes, but well, you've got to balance it out of your life. But it's like you just focus on your energy and you feel what you're doing and it feels good to you. You know what I mean? And it feels good to you, and you love this. And one day you wake up and you find that you are more flexible, and you are more healthy, or you are more able in this ability than some other people, than the person you was looking up to in the first place, even maybe, or the same level or higher, or to other people. Or there's many other people around you that can't do that. It's not about ego. It's not even still not about comparing. It never was. Even you're better than people that are better than your idol, even. You're better than that. But that's what it's about. You start to find things out. When you start to practice through your loves in arts and interests, you start to learn a lot about yourself, about your ability, what you can be. More than a punching bag or something to be compared to. Look at yourself in the mirror. There's only one you. That's you. Who knows you more than you do? You're great. You can do anything. Okay, you can do anything. You can really do what you love, and you love it. Who can tell you you're wrong? As long as you're not harming yourself, lying to yourself, you know, taking drugs or whatever might be harming yourself, or whatever, or like harming other people, remember, even with simple words, if you say to somebody, you should, or I think you should, or you're wrong, or you should do this, or you shouldn't do that, or oh, no, you can't, anything, when you start telling somebody, because, even like me telling you now, if I was telling you all this here, talking to you, and I said, if I said that this is what it is, you know, I would be wrong. You should never force your ideas and mind on somebody, okay? They think what they want to think. They are them. Nobody can force you either. As long as you're not hurting somebody. We hurt ourselves emotionally sometimes when we worry about what people think. Again, punching ourselves again. You know, but we shouldn't be going out deliberately trying to get angry with other people. It's not even worth getting angry. If somebody wants to think what they will, fuck it. Even if you don't think it's right, fuck it. Okay. Idiot, right? If you want to think that way, fine. But people all have their own. You've got to respect others. Respect yourself. If somebody comes up to you telling you the same thing, you should this or that, obviously they probably think you're weak, you don't believe in yourself or whatever, or they think that they know more than you, then they can piss off because you've got your own life. You don't even need to argue with them. Say, oh, okay, whatever you think, yeah. You know, if they start to attack you and hit you, then you'd block and defend yourself if you need to, you know what I mean? You train creative skills. Or run away if you can and call the police, obviously. Okay, it's not worth arguing with them. You can tell them your point. I think this way, you think that way. They will usually continue by saying, oh no, because blah blah blah, you're wrong. Don't worry. That's not important. That's less important than the shit I'm talking about in this video. Even talking about it now is not even worth sticking for so long to this camera here for you, and for me too, because I enjoy sharing. The same way as I would love to sit down and hear other people's thoughts. Life's a wonderful thing to be experienced. You're not here to be a kickbag. So I feel a bit sorry when I'm punching on trees as well as these walls. Like kicking, because gradual using it for my conditioning. But a tree's not meant for kicking. It's got a strong root, you know what I mean? So you've got to have strong roots and know where you come from, okay? You know what I mean? Wouldn't you feel very sad if your child was training his whole life to take hits as such? You know what I mean? Some people go into the war and they, and take their lives for the honour of their country and all this, whatever it might be. But to me, it's just people are brainwashed sometimes. They lose their minds, and the only reason that is because they're in this society of greed, selfishness, and fighting to survive, and they believe that they're doing the right thing for them, their family, and love, because they're all going through a tough time in this tough life, and we're all trying to make a life. And so we're doing an honourable thing by sometimes doing like the wrong thing, it seems, or being strong as such, what it may seem, when not cowardly by standing there and taking shit or giving it, out. So this is the sad thing. So I want to say, everybody, thanks for watching, okay? Train hard and stay safe. Martial arts is to make us stronger. Remember that, making us stronger, okay? Not weak. So train, by all means, these conditioning, take it gradually when you're hitting yourself or letting somebody hit you, whatever. But be really careful. I wouldn't advise it, to tell you the truth. I'd rather advise you training different kinds of forms of strengthening. Conditioning is okay. And light punching in your body, maybe in your legs, maybe, tapping yourself over is okay. Training on a dummy or a punch bag, and say, your forearms on like a tree, like I do, as I say, light punching on a wall. It's good, real good training. You do a little bit of light weight swimming, you know what I mean? Running, it's all good. Jumping, breathing exercises, and then just slow flowing movements like Tai Chi and the and Kung Fu moves, and karate, and moving the techniques, and movement, being flexible. That's physical training, you know what I mean? Yeah, play some sports if you wish to. Dance to music if you wish to. Whatever. Go to the toilet and push your cock out of your bumhole if you wish to on the toilet. But it's life. I'm just joking. Right? In your mind, keep it focused. Because if you focus on other people, and there's too much to focus on as well as your own ideas, you lose your mind and you're wasting your energy, and you'll find yourself in a terrible problem. Are you going to stand there and while you're playing a game of chess, sit there and let the guy take your chair away from you and let him put his feet on your chair and just slap you in the face and drink your water, or pee in it and give it back to you while you're playing chess? Are you? No. But in your mind, you could be thinking about that. You might think, how am I going to be the chess champion? I know this guy wants to beat me and all this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like as though in your mind he's already pissing in your cup of water and all the rest of it, hitting you. You've got to just focus on that game and how to take the steps as you see the free spaces. You don't see, well, oh God, he's in my space here and all this. Focus on the whole picture as a whole. Train on, stay safe. That's a long video. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.